Hello, everyone. It's Michelle Howe, and I have a special training today because I like to bring you all kinds of new things all the time. And today I had registered. I'm like, what am I going to talk about today? Well, blind spots came up. I'm like, blind spots in business, blind spots in relationships, blind spots in personal life. What blind spots are we talking about? So I decided to go a little bit deeper into relationships because we learn so much about ourselves within our relationships. And I've got three, actually more. There's top three things to watch out for, but there's more to it. So I'm just hoping to add to your discernment. If you're here, please let me know you're here. Like, let me say hello. How long you've been in this group with amazing women, how long you've been an entrepreneur, what is your experience with discernment and relationships? What have you run into? I know we come at this from all kinds of different angles. And I know some of these things that we've gone through are pretty painful, but I'm here to shed some light on it. So if you can stick with me, I'm going to add a lot more insight to what's happening. I'd like to know a little bit more about what you're running into. So, a little bit about me. I am the president and founder of Empath Evolution. What I do is I work with amazing people who are intuitive, insightful, and yet they get snagged by life. They're getting snagged, whether it's in relationships, whether it's in how they feel emotionally, how they feel within themselves. People that are givers and move through life to uplift others, it's good to a degree, and then it can get a lot for us to manage and move beyond. I am an empath, and I know there's lots of other ones of you out there. And there's lots of empaths that don't even know they're empaths. What does that mean? It means that you care, you uplift, you do it naturally. And sometimes you get snagged in a lot of things that aren't so wonderful because you care. And, life seems a little bit unfair. You come home emotionally exhausted or mentally drained or just feeling empty on the inside because you've given so much of yourself out there in the world. Now, I believe everybody feels, everybody cares in some way. It's just how they show up, how hard their life has been. And for some of us, our lives have been really, really hard. I do a little numerology, so I know in comparing how it seems unfair, but that's just how the whole universe works. We didn't all come in here with the same numbers. We didn't all come in here with the same parents. We didn't all come in here with the same strengths and weaknesses. So here we're learning along the way. Um, so this must not be a great time because nobody is on. If you are, please let me know. Anyone there? Let me watch this. Anyone there? I like to instigate. That's part of my personality. I'm like, if I'm gonna, where are the people? Where are you? Um, so anyway, I wrote up some things today that I think would be really helpful. As far as just not being surprised by the crazy that you could step into in the world. I know a lot of times we pick people that we fall in love. We see the best in them. And then all of a sudden, who knows what the heck happened? Everything goes kaposh and it's done and we don't trust them and we've been hurt and whatnot. I always made it a practice. Hi there, I see you. Thank you for saying hello. I always made it a practice to analyze people. I mean, I did this naturally because I didn't want to get hurt, but also because I kind of saw traits in them that to me were not trustworthy, traits in them that to me were superficial, traits in them that let me know, yeah, they're here today and not here tomorrow. So I was very cautious, especially in the romantic side of things. And like one of my top things, to be honest with you, was always, do I respect this person? So I have like an inner skeptic. Will I respect this person a year from now? Do I respect what comes out of their mouth? Do they show me that I don't need to help them? Are they independent enough that they don't rely on me for everything? So it's interesting. When I was first dating, a lot of men, um, that's what they do with me. They tell me all their stuff. They just go on and on and on. And it just so happened that I didn't mind, but I'm like, there is no way day to day that I'm dealing with somebody that I have to uplift and that's going to complain. So, like, the number one thing for me was, are you a complainer or not? So, I wanted somebody that could take care of their life without going on and on and on about all the things this person said, this person did, all the things that were not fair about their life, all the things that went wrong. Like, I did not have the capacity or the desire to want to listen to it. So, complain. If you find somebody that complains, please do yourself a favor. Give yourself a break. So, save yourself a heartache. Step away. They complain. They complain. That's who they are. That's how they are. People will show you exactly who they are. You don't have to go crazy trying to, like, if you just observe enough how they interact with other people, how they talk about other people, you will see a lot to them, right? Who they blame for their life. It's almost like, to me, it's almost a strength. It's an inner strength. Can I count on you to take responsibility for your life, to move forward, or are you going to complain about your life? And okay, so there's a number one. Are they complainers? Do they whine? Do they pick out all the things that are wrong with a scenario, with a scene, or are they moving forward? I hope I say this right. Akeisha, with a T though. Akeisha, if you're still there, why don't you write me a little bit about a question or your experience? I can kind of pivot from that too. I would love that. That would be great. So number one thing is complain. Number two thing, it's going to look really superficial to you, but I'm going to tell you what it is. How do they present themselves? Now, you're going to think this is their looks. Not exactly. How they present themselves. Are they all about their looks? Are they concerned about their looks? Are they dirty? Are they disheveled? Are they all, mind you, I dated someone that was all about what he wore. The guy looked, he wasn't really attractive, but he dressed to the nines. He just dressed the part. He was like the mayor that would walk down the road. He just knew everyone and would talk to them. And to be honest with you, that person needs to stand next to you. It needs to look somewhat compatible as far as, you know what, I, for the most part, present myself casually. Him, for the most part, he presents himself with a three-piece suit. How are you walking down the street? So the way people choose what they wear, how they show up, says a lot about them. It's not telling me he's a good person or a bad person. He's telling me whether or not I can stand next to them and we can look like a pair that were somewhat alike. Like, it's funny because when I dated the guy who had all that going on with his attire, I always felt like I was underdressed. I always felt like I had to be concerned about what I was wearing instead of casual, which is my temperament. You know, I like casual. I like relaxed. So one of the things I would encourage you guys to do is what you like. What you like for yourself is what you'll like next to you. So it really does cross over. All right. And yes, Aila, I hope I say that right. They can wear their issues. So if you're very intuitive, just a little intuitive, you just stop for a second, you can see the men that are full of themselves, or women for that matter, right? Let's put it in perspective, but this is a woman's group. And it could be a woman that you're looking at too. You can sense arrogance, ambition, disregard, superficiality. Um, when someone's not truthful, you can smell it. You can when they're boastful, watch out for the boastful. So it's like you're getting, if you can get into what's the flavor of this person. How is he coming off to me? Is he really authentic? Is he trying to impress me? Is he complimenting me every 2 seconds? Is he buying me things? So here's my inner critic. What the heck is this person about? Am I comfortable next to them? Am I comfortable with the words that come out of their mouth? Do I feel they're a safe person? Do I feel they're reliable? Loyal? You can tell that stuff by how much jazz they've got going on, how much they talk up themselves, how down to earth they are. So, of course, there's different strokes for different folks, right? We don't all need the same thing. So I would have you, this is what I like, this is what I need. 2 lists. This is what I like. Next to me, beside me, this is what I like in a person. This is what I need in a person. Like for me, I needed someone steady, reliable, no complaining. Get away from the complaining, no complaining. Because the moment they start complaining, what happens? You got to listen to them, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, and I did not have the wherewithal. I didn't want that in my life. I wanted someone I could rely on, someone that it was a 50-50, 100-100 strong relationship. So, complain, their presence, and I'm going to put number 3 because I said 3 big things. There's more than this. 3 big things. Believe it or not, some people like to argue. Some people like to argue. Aila, if you have a question or if you have a specific situation, write it down in the comments. I love to hear it. They like to argue. What does that tell you? When somebody likes to argue, and sometimes, arguing it's a discussion. It's not supposed to be an argument. To me is, I need to be right. I'm right. You have to see how right I am. I'm going to tell you how right I am. And I'm going to tell you about this other thing that I'm right about. And it doesn't stop. So arguing is the same vein as complaining. They just have stuff to say. And they want to be heard and they want to be right. So they have a very intense personality, a very intense, and it might be in some ways intriguing and fun-loving and whatnot, but I would ask yourself the question, how long can I put up with this? Is this a thing I want to deal with every day? Because the person you marry, the person that's your partner, ends up being part of your life every day. And you've got to be able to see through that reality in your life. You might enjoy it for half a day. Do you know what I mean? But the rest of your life or, vacations, it's just a lot to deal with if this is their mode. And in total, to me, it's I use the word polarized. When people are so into their life themselves, they talk about it incessantly all the time, not just themselves, everybody else. It's a lot to deal with. And I'm coming at it from the point of energetically speaking, because I do energy work. I talk energy language. I talk how we feel, it's very draining to deal with anybody like that. Very draining. So, those are my big things. There are other little things. In total, you're trying to get to the character of the person. Can they be trusted with your heart? Are they buying you? Are you, so you, those blind spots to me are look like this. I really want a man that loves me, and this person tells me he loves me, and look how he's doing for me, and he has a really good heart. I know he doesn't have a job, or he's struggling a little. He's got some emotional issues, but he really loves me. He makes me feel like I'm the queen, right? I'm being a little sarcastic here, but it happens. Basically, you're getting smooth talked. You're getting someone who wants to win you over, like, this knight in shining armor, and they're going to uplift you. So the more needy, the more you need love from someone, the more you are at risk of being blind to the fact that this person, you're going to need them. So you don't want to come at something, I need. I am a beautiful, loving, amazing woman, powerful. I want a man who sees my power and my beauty and appreciates it. I want a man who's powerful, loving, and successful himself, trustworthy, who is down to earth with how he expresses himself and who he is. He's not trying to pull the shade over me. He's not trying to win me over. He's not telling me, because you have to remember, people come with double-edged sword, in a sense. If they're too skewed in a certain direction, which is not realistic, they're going to go the other way. So when I say polarized, I mean, I'm really, 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 really happy and everything is really, 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 really good. Yeah, guess what? Life comes down. I'm like, I always get scared too when I see, it's not a really good way to describe it, but when I see somebody that I am working with or talking to, or even a friend, and I see these big influxes of, oh, how wonderful everything is, and blah, 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 they go off, right? And I'm looking at them, I'm like, oh shit, here comes the other side of it. So they're taking big swings up, and then they'll drop down because it's not realistic. It's not practical, and it's not, it tells you the intensity of how they like to work at life. It's not safe. It's not safe. They're not safe. Their moods are not safe. So you're looking for someone that's reliable, that knows who they are, that's not getting stymied and pulled in different directions by life, that's not frustrated, setting themselves up with focus on negativity, focus on what's wrong with the world, focus on that stuff matters. It matters so much. Hello, Ise? Thank you for being here. I try to be insightful. That's what I love, looking at the dichotomy of things that are around us, looking at how people show up, and the choices we make to move towards this person or that person or whatnot. There's something that attracted us there. Be careful, because if you are wanting, quote unquote, needing love, you could be a victim to somebody who's just going to kind of play that out because they can sense that in you. So they'll give you that, right, for a certain period of time, and then they'll give you the rest of who they are. And if you are somebody that is looking for someone to take care of you and make all your decisions for you, and they've got some financial wealth, just be careful that you're not selling. It's almost like selling your soul to somebody. Yeah. Oh yeah, they gave me a gift. Oh, now I feel better. That makes up for all of that I did. And then you get another bunch of stuff. And then they got to give you another gift to make up. But soon enough, it just wears on you. It won't work. It doesn't work long term. They need to, I would say, tread the line of what a respected person would be in my life. Do you have work? Do you take responsibility? Are you self-initiating? Do you have a positive attitude about what's in front of you? Do you see, why do you like me? What do you see in me? What do you reflect back to me? Like, we're a pair. What do we do as a pair? Now, people could look totally different on the outside. A prime example, my husband and I. Blonde, blue eyes, very logical. Italian, dark hair, dark eyes, very fiery. Very, very different people on the outside. He has traits that I need to stabilize, and I have a strength that he needs. Together, we do really well. And no, we're not the same at all. Underneath all of what the outside personality looks like, we value the same things. We dress in similar ways. We have a pace about us that's about the same. Like, I don't mind a conversation that's an equal conversation. That, like, probably is, for me at least, was like the big clincher. To have a man or a woman, a partner, who tells you what to do, expects things out of you, or is derogatory to you, is it's a no deal. It's a no deal. It's a no deal. They'll do it once, they'll do it a second time, they'll do it a third time. It's just what they've got. And you have to ask yourself, why am I, if you are, attracted to that? What part of that do I think is helpful to me? So I know I make things out. Our heart makes the decisions. Some of this stuff happens on automatic. I just would like to give you a little bit of the insight that I have of what I noticed, because before you get into the hot water, take a look at what it is. Don't get your heart all strung up and all loving and all this and all that, and then you have to make excuses and step away from what smells off, suspicious, manipulative. Step back. Okay? I hope you guys enjoyed this. I don't know if you have any questions. If you do, please put them in the comments. I love questions. I have many things. EmpathEvolution.com is my website. So if you'd like to learn more, please take a look. There's a lot to all of this. I believe we are all on a journey to self. What does that mean? That means that you are attracting things to you, good and bad, that are going to help you grow as a person. And when you start looking inside, you will discover who you are. Put your focus inside of you and ask yourself those questions about who you are and what you want. The outside's fine, but the outside is not, at the end of the day, you. You're inside. You're inside. Your love, your quality comes from being who you are, not chasing things on the outside. Outside doesn't give you that inner fulfillment. The outside is a temporary thing. You work on the inside first, or along the way, but you get that together and you do it. I'd like to invite you guys to send me friend requests. If you see this during the replay, right, let me know at replay, #replay, and certainly send me a friend request. I do healing circles every month, which are amazing. I invite you to take a look at that. They're on my Facebook group. There's an event. They're called Healing Circles. So, or you can message me about them. I believe wholeheartedly in stuck emotions being a real thing, trauma being a real thing. addictive behaviors being a real thing, fears holding us back being a real thing. And the solution to that, amongst many other things, is your awareness, and energy healing starts that. It's your job, it's your role, it's your place to step into things to help yourself. Every single step of the way, you are the most important person in the room. So I'm going to let everyone go on that note. I hope you enjoyed this. My pleasure to be here. All right. Take care.